Okay, so on this video, we are going to focus on the Delta Math assignment on finding the relationship of two lines. If you click on the Watch Help video, you're going to see that there's very important information. What can be the relationships between two lines? Well, the relationships can be that they are the same line. Okay, let me write on the web. I think I'm zoomed in a little bit too much. Technical difficulties. Erase from the previous problem. Here we go. Sorry, technical difficulties. I'll try to edit this out of the video. Okay, so you can be the same line. This is the first thing that you check for. And if you're the same line, both equations are going to have the same slope and the same y-intercept. All right, so if this is true, then you're done and you have the same lines. So it'd be basically one line on top of another line. They're the same line. All right, so if that's not the case, though, you go and you check for parallel lines next. Parallel lines are going to have the same slope, but they're going to have a different y-intercept. And if you think about it, if this is your x and y, okay, that's one line, that's this y-intercept, and then you have another parallel line, and it has a different y-intercept, even though they have the same slope, okay? If this is not the case, then you go on to your third check, which is the check for perpendicular lines, and the slopes are opposite reciprocals. Something else that you can do is you can take the slope of one and multiply it by the slope of the other equation. And if you get a -1, then yes, you have perpendicular lines. And if none of these meet, then your answer is 4, neither, none of the above. Okay, so please remember this. In fact, stop the video right now, pause, and I need you to write these checks down so that you have it on a piece of paper. All right, so right now hit pause. All right, so now that you're done writing this down, so I don't have to go back and forth, and you don't have to go back and forth, let's look at some problems. Finding the relationship of two lines. The lines represented by these two equations are what? What is their relationship? Okay, so so the first thing I notice is that this equation says 2y minus 6x equals -4. So I'm going to have to rearrange that. And this one says y minus 3x equals -2. Okay, so then this one is line 1. And this one is line 2. So working with this, we have 2y. And if we want to move this -6x to the other side, it's going to become positive. So it's going to be 6x minus 4. Then we divide by 2. And we get that y equals 6 divided by 2 is 3 minus 4 divided by 2, which is a 2. So line 1 has a slope of 3. Then we look at this one. Put a little division line right here. We're going to move this y minus 3x to the other side. It's going to be y equals positive 3x minus 2. This is already on the right-hand side, so we don't need to move it. It just stays on the right-hand side. And we don't need to divide by anything because it's already an understood 1 right here. So this tells us that the second slope is 3. Here your y-intercept is -2, and here your y-intercept is -2. So at first look, it looks like these two lines are parallel. But remember, the first check has to be on whether you have the same line. Right, so the first we check for the same line. Do they have the same slope and do they have the same y-intercept? And looking right here, we see that yes, they have the same slope and they also have the same intercept. So they're not just parallel, they're actually the same line. So let's click on that and let's see. And yes, we are correct. So put both equations into slope-intercept form. That is what we did. And that's the first equation. They did the second equation. The lines are the same because they have that same slope and the same y-intercept. Let's look at one more problem. Find the relationship of two lines. So once again, we have these two lines. Once again, technical difficulties. And we need to rearrange them. This is going to be the dividing line. All right, this positive 3x has to go to the other side. So we're going to have 5y equals negative 3x plus 25. And then we divide by 5 every single term. 5 over 5 cancels, and we're left with y equals, this is negative 3 over 5x plus 25 over 5 gives us a 5. So this has a slope of negative 3 over 5 and a y-intercept of 5. Now on this one, 6y plus 10x, the x term has to go to the other side. So we have 6y equals negative 10x minus 12. Dividing every term by 6 gives us y equals, what is this reduced to? This is 2 times 5 and this is 2 times 3. So 5 over 3, negative 5 over 3. X minus 2, minus 2. So this one has a slope of negative 5 over 3 and a y-intercept of negative 2. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to check for is, are they the same line? Do they have the same slope and the same y-intercept? They don't have the same slope. They're both negatives, but this is 3 over 5 and that's 5 over 3. So that's not the same slope. So automatically they're not the same line. Are they parallel? They need to have the same slope. We just said they don't have the same slope. So they're not parallel. All right, perpendicular are the slopes are opposite reciprocals. Well, it looks like they're reciprocals of each other, right? That's a 3 over 5. All right, so, but it's misleading because they're both negatives. And technically, they're supposed to be opposite signs, one positive and one negative. And here, I'll prove it to you. If you multiply negative 3 over 5 times negative 5 over 3, you're actually going to get a positive 1. So that means that it is not perpendicular. Remember, to be perpendicular, you have to get a negative 1 when you multiply the slopes. So if it's not perpendicular either, then it's going to be neither. Neither parallel nor perpendicular. And good. All right, so I hope this helps you in solving the problems and finding the relationship of two lines. And please remember to learn how to do it correctly because I'm still going to give you more work on this, okay?